want to go back to Sarah Brady
Yeah.
and Diego Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
Both very different cases,
Correct.
both involving, well, one involving a campaign supporter. I don't know how close you are with her personally. One involving someone you've described as a personal friend.
Mm-hmm.
Is that appropriate for you to be using this office in a way that might help your friends?
So let's be clear. I have a lot of campaign supporters. About half, at least half of the electorate in Idaho, at least half, voted for me. I can't remember what the vote was in the general, but in the primary, I had over 52% of the people vote for me. It's a lot of people I know in the state of Idaho. And so there's nothing wrong with getting involved and learning about cases. I think I don't have a relationship with Sarah Brady. She supported my campaign, but the issue was decided by the prosecutors in the office, and they were the ones who decided to dismiss the case. In the other case, I think it's important to know that I asked Health and Welfare to give me all of the files on CPS cases. One of them was that particular file, but I wanted to know whether my lawyers were giving the proper legal advice in CPS cases, and if we had any new training that we needed to do. I'm very interested in the CPS system. When the people of Idaho are losing trust in something that is happening at this type of level, I think they have I think they have a right to know what's happening and to have a right to know that the person who's in charge is taking those issues seriously. And that's what I have done. I have taken those issues seriously. I never spoke out about the case during the campaign. In fact, many people that I know wanted to talk to me about the case and wanted me to take a position on the case. And I said, I don't have both sides I don't know both sides of this issue. So I'm not willing to talk about an issue that I don't have both sides of it. So I think it's actually, I think I did the appropriate thing, which was to keep my mouth shut about the issue before I learned both sides. And even when I learned both sides, I'm gonna have to be careful what I say because we have some ethical and legal duties to the department. So I may actually end up learning some things that I need to find out, that I need to learn, and I will have to deal with those issues internally. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with trying to find out whether the CPS system in Idaho is working or not. In fact, the people of Idaho elected me to ensure that the CPS system and every other system in Idaho is working in Idaho.
What are some of the concerns that you're hearing about CPS?
Well, just in general, you hear about people that feel that the law's not being followed, then that the system is not working. And I don't know if that's true or not until I review it. And I want to make sure, but my number one responsibility is to make sure that the legal advice that my lawyers are given to the Department of Health and Welfare in these cases is the appropriate legal advice. And I want to ensure and want to see if they're giving the right legal advice and whether the Department of Health and Welfare is following that advice. And I have the irony of this whole thing is that I have no opinion on that because until I fully review all of these cases, I'm not going to be able to have an opinion on them.
A couple of your more high-profile actions so far,
Yeah.
at least stuff that we've covered,
Yeah.
has involved the Department of Health and Welfare.
Yes.
Do you have broad concerns about the way that agency is being managed?
I have broad concerns that we have legislators who are passing laws giving specific direction and guidance to the Department of Health and Welfare, and the Department of Health and Welfare is ignoring it. And so we were broad concerns by legislators, and we decided to look into it. This was not something that originated in my office. This is something that many legislators are concerned about. And I hear about it constantly, even stuff that is not out in the press. I hear about it constantly, that they feel that the department sort of doesn't follow what the legislature is asking them to do. And I think any citizen of Idaho should be concerned if you have an agency that is not listening to what the legislature is trying to tell them to do.